Caoineadh Airt O'Leary is one of the best known examples of a keening, or Caoineadh in the Irish language. It is a poem written by Eileen O'Connell after the death of her 26-year-old husband, Airt O'Leary. In 1773, the Sheriff of Cork offered O'Leary 5 guineas for his horse, but O'Leary refused and went on the run. O'Leary was later shot and fell from his horse after he became an outlaw for not abiding by the penal laws. The horse made its way home to O'Leary's wife, Eileen, and brought her back to Airt O'Leary's body lying dead on the road. It was here Eileen composed the Lament of Airt O'Leary. Caoineadh Airt O'Leary is one of the few Irish keenings that we have today. Due to the oral tradition of lamenting, many keenings were never written down and therefore have been lost. The lament consists of 400 lines, composed spontaneously by Eileen when overtaken by grief at the sight of her dead husband. In the lamenting tradition, the typical lamenter, or ban Caoineadh, was a woman, and the person being lamented was usually a man. The lamenting women led the community in a public display of grief, asking him to get up and come home, praising his beauty and generosity, and cursing his enemies. The practice of keening has almost entirely died out. The only reason that we are fortunate enough to study lamenting today is because they have been transcribed from the oral tradition.
Professor Angela Burke refers to the performance of the Caoineadh in her article Keening as Theatre, J.M. Synge and the Irish Lament Tradition, and states that, start quote, Caoineadh was an oral formulaic poetic composition produced in performance, end quote. It is important that, as students, we remember that the Caoineadh was composed orally and on the spot. For our video, we had the opportunity to interview Dr. Trina Ní Hiocháin and discuss Caoineadh Airt O'Leary with her. Trina is an Irish lecturer in UL and has taught this poem for many years. She is considered an expert in this area of oral tradition, and therefore we felt it was appropriate to include her in this assignment. But before we hear from Trina, a fellow student of ours, Niamh Ní Chonachóir, will read a few lines of Caoineadh Airt O'Leary for you. Niamh is a native Irish speaker from Connemara, the Gaeltacht area in County Galway. Oral tradition was a massive part of the Gaeltacht life in Ireland, and therefore we felt that she was best suited to give you a feel for this poem.
Ag ceann sí an warga. Thug ma húil airachas, thug ma chrí taine chuit. Déalaíos charad le, a bhád ó bhála le.
An ceapan tú go bhfuil an tálinn go bhfuil an Caoineadh seo goin inis, gur cuimh rinne cuimh nuair.
Ceapan go bhfuil an tá dearglinn mar má échaimid an tradiisiún béal a bhí chá héirú agus na manáibh. Tuigimid gur bé an tradiisiún béal seachas an tradiisiún scríofa don gcuid is mó a bhíoch agus na manáibh. Tuigimid ó chunta sí agsúla mar hampla sa leabhar an Tailánach, tuigimid gur áránatha móra le rá a ben na maná, tuigimid gur maná cuinte behiad, agus a bhí maná áirithe ina bhilí chumá, mar sin tuigimid gur ráidir lán fáirteach. Ach má leachna tú tradiisiún béal I mbíonn sé le gaidh, beidir go raibh sé anathe fiste ciúil agus anatháchtach, ach I mbíonn sé go frist. Déach sé bástáil leis dí bhain, nó beidir go nearút fí árán, nó go nearút fí dán nó péradé. Mar sin tá an tálinn gur bracach síos Caoineadh Airt O'Leary nuair a duineach, mar socha nuair a tháinig bora an nuais agus nuair a bhí eistú teanganán ó Gaeilge go dtí an béarlagus mar sin de cailleach annachchuid, mar sin tá dearglinn gur cuimhníoch an Caoineadh áirithe seo cinnte.
Agus do Caoineadh nachfuil tar éis an Caoineadh seo léamh conas a ggurfá síos in Abertabón.
Áiritís na bhlas. Conas a dhéanana sin inis. When is stocha gur Caoineadh se a hagan ó chríoláir na Commodóireachta béal, agus a hálán do bhuacháin agus de hanas agus do gráma túlacht, agus go bhfuil uislecht an trí bhuair a ritríd chomá.
Má chráú agus mrú, tá a staci a mó, tá a bhá buí á brú. Is é má chrí atá do ná leisach chuige mú, má gabhna ilan na bhean. Go dteach Airt O'Leary chugam. Ní scapach mo chuba.
I really enjoyed making this video. It was really nice to learn a new skill such as editing and seeing the video from start to finish.
We actually had an insight into the Lament of Airt already, but it was nice to get a broader knowledge and the background information that we hadn't heard before.
What we found difficult was the subtitles. We wanted to do part of this video in Irish to give you a sense of the Irish language, because we are aware that there's a lot of Erasmus students in the class, but this was very difficult and quite time consuming, but I think overall it worked out well in the end.